show, Mayor Mike Bloomberg, talking about his attempted ban, because remember the judge blocked it this week, on sugary drinks and all his other plans that are in the works. Of course, his final term is wrapping up, and we will soon have a New York City mayor, a brand new one. And there's a very crowded field, but one candidate is gaining a lot of steam, and he now has a big endorsement. And joining us right now is the guy who is making the endorsement, the wonderful three-term governor from our great state here of New York, Governor George Pataki. How are you, Governor?
I'm doing great, Rita. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Love having you on the show, Governor, and I know you've got some big news. You are making a big endorsement. Tell us about it for New York City Mayor.
I have endorsed John Catsimatidis. He's a friend, and I think he's just a terrific guy, and I think he will make an outstanding mayor. He came here as an immigrant from Greece, started at the bottom, and just worked his way up, beginning stocking shelves in a grocery store. And today he's a very successful businessman. He knows New York City. He knows what it means to work. He knows what it means for this city to give opportunity for people, particularly for people who are from another country or from another part of the globe. And he just, I think, would bring those talents in a positive way to the mayor's office.
You know, and I've known John a long time. I like John a lot. You know what I've seen? We were just talking on the show, Governor, about Donald Trump's message about why Mitt Romney lost, saying that he wasn't sort of approachable and was hiding sort of behind his success. Here's John Catsimatidis, who has tremendous success, and yet he has that great quality of kind of walking into a room and shaking everyone's hand, and he can talk to the CEO just like he can talk to, you know, whoever, the mailman or the union, you know, whoever it is. And that's a unique ability, don't you think? And I think a politician has to have it.
Absolutely right, Rita. It's an ability that's far too rare. He can talk to the CEOs because he is one and has been successful at it. And he can talk to the guy who works in a grocery store because he's been there and done that. So I think that's an important part of being able to lead, to have that sense of people. And for people to have the sense that you're not apart from them, you're one of them. And I think John brings that to the table, along with so many other skills. And I think this choice for mayor is a critical one, and I think John will be a terrific choice.
And you look at the crowded field now, too. You've got, you know, Joe Lhota, MTA chairman, former MTA chairman. You've got, you know, Tom Allen. Of course, on the Democratic side, there's Christine Quinn, a number of others, of course. Very different personalities. Why do you think a businessman, a successful businessman, is the way to go this go-round?
Well, we've just had 12 years with Mike Bloomberg, and I think you look at where we are in crime, you look at where we are from the standpoint of the city's finances, and we just saw the statistics where the city has its highest population ever. People want to be in the city, and I think when you bring the human touch and the ability to run a complex, very costly operation efficiently, it makes a huge difference. And there's no question in my mind that John Catsimatidis has shown that he's capable of doing that. And if he is the mayor of this great city, he will show that he can bring those skills to the mayor's office as well.
You know, what I was seeing in one of his press conferences, he was saying that he's been CEO, I think it was of like more than a dozen companies, different industries, which I agree. I think that wealth of knowledge, just as we've seen with the Mayor Mike Bloomberg, you see it's an economic issue right now. How important do you think is this next election for New York City mayor?
I think it's critically important, and just one issue that, to me, everything else flows from, and that's crime. And right now we're seeing record low crime, and it's a combination of a number of things: tougher state laws, tougher judges, tougher parole policies, and by far better policing. And now we're having this debate over stop and frisk. And you see what is happening in so many cities like Chicago and Baltimore, where violent crime, murders are just completely out of control. And then you see New York City, where we set a record low last year. And it's a tribute to Commissioner Kelly, to what the city has done with its very, very effective policing strategies. And it's important that we keep those in place, because I'm sure on the public's mind, it's at the bottom of the list. But it's at the bottom of the list because we've been so successful. And if we lose that success, than everything else. The new housing, new immigrants coming here, people coming from across the country, businesses growing here. All that requires an absolutely safe sense of personal security, and we have that in the city. The next mayor is going to have to continue to work to keep that in place, and I have no doubt that someone like John Catsimatidis will do that.
What do you make of one of the big headlines, of course, this week is with Mayor Mike Bloomberg pushing his ban on sugary drinks, Governor, and the judge shot it down, a New York State Supreme Court judge. He says he's going to appeal. Do you think that that's sort of a waste of time that he's focused on this, and this is, his final swing as the mayor?
Well, I understand the point he's trying to make, and I think he has done so many great things for the city, but I think on this one he's wrong. I don't think that the government should be telling people they can have a 15-ounce soda, but not a 16.5-ounce soda. I mean, the mayor's done, even in this space of nutrition and trying to improve people's health, some great things. I remember last summer I was up at Yankee Stadium, and I was thinking, well, maybe I shouldn't get a hot dog. Maybe I should get something better for me instead. And thanks to the mayor's efforts, all the calories of everything I listed, and I took a look, and the calories of the hot dog were lower than the thing that I thought was healthier and was going to get. So informing the public, giving them all the information so they can make an intelligent decision. That is a proper role of government. But then dictating to the people what they can or cannot do, I think that's just a step too far.
How do you think Bloomberg has done? What kind of a grade would you give him, and how do you think he's done as he's wrapping up his term?
I think he's been a very good mayor. You look at, I was talking about crime, and we've just seen tremendous efforts by the mayor, Commissioner Kelly, the NYPD, that has brought murders to a record low, and that's something that just completely changed the city, beginning back when my team and Mayor Giuliani's team worked together to change the laws and change the judges and change sentencing and improve policing and begin to drive it down. Also, we just see this as the hottest place on the planet right now. This is where people want to be, and I think it's just extremely positive. And so I'm very optimistic about New York. I am concerned that with the recent state tax hike on the so-called 1%, that I know of a number of my friends who have said, that's it, I'm moving to Florida, and they have, or going somewhere else. But despite that, I think the city is facing nothing but bright days ahead of it if it continues to have the right leadership, and I'm very optimistic.
And will we see you, Governor Pataki, out there on the campaign trail helping now with your endorsement of John Catsimatidis? Will we see you out there at all?
We'll see what the future brings. You never know, Rita.
Yeah, I know you. You're a busy guy.